Hope everyone's doing well. My name is EQ and welcome to another episode of Stonkaholics. Today we're going to be going over Tezos and then I'm going to be jumping into a lot more TA than usual, going over two different Tezos charts and then going over the total market cap as a whole. Before we get into the video, if you have a chance, please subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. And let's get this video rolling. So Tezos is currently ranked number 37, sitting at $5.64. Currently down on the 24-hour chart, around 250%. Market cap of $4.3 billion, which is pretty low. We have a circulating and total supply of 768 million so far, and the max supply is infinite. We'll circle back to this to see the long term. We're going to go pretty quick through these steps so we can get into more TA. I still want you guys to do your own due diligence and your own research with these projects before you invest in them. That's why this isn't financial advice, this is all entertainment. But Tezos is an open source platform for assets and apps that's backed by a global community of validators, researchers, and builders. In a way, it's not too dissimilar to Ethereum, but there is a big difference. Tezos aims to offer infrastructure that is more advanced, meaning it can evolve and improve over time without there ever being a danger of a hard fork. That is something that both Bitcoin and Ethereum have suffered since they were created. People who hold XTZ can vote on proposals for protocol upgrades that have been put forward by Tezos' developers. The open source platform bills itself as secure, upgradable, and built to last, and says a smart contract language provides the accuracy that is required for high value use cases. According to Tezos, its approach means that it is future proof and will remain the state of the art long into the future, meaning it can embrace developments in blockchain technology. This technology underpinning Tezos was the first project in a white paper that was released in September 2014. After a series of delays, the Tezos mainnet was launched 4 years later. So although staking is common across blockchains, Tezos has a unique twist on this process. Participants can get involved with the network's governance through banking, where they effectively stake 8,000 XTZ. This creates a financial incentive to act honestly. Bakers are then tasked with voting on proposed changes to the blockchain's code in a 4-step procedure that takes approximately 23 days. Proposals that receive support from the vast majority of participants are put through their paces on a testnet for 48 hours and are fully implemented if they are backed by a supermajority. Tezos is also unique because of how it has started to be used by high-profile businesses. In September 2020, it was announced that the French banking giant Société Générale planned to use this blockchain for experimenting with the central bank digital currency. Big cryptocurrency exchanges such as Binance and Coinbase have also unveiled support for Tezos staking, meaning users can receive rewards based on the XTZ that they hold. This is not a feature that's seen too widely across digital assets. So Tezos uses a proof of stake consensus mechanism, which means that anyone can become a validator and contribute to the smooth running of the network by making a security deposit. To incentivize honest behavior, rewards are given to those who work in the best interest of the blockchain, and those who act dishonestly risk losing their stake altogether. So you can see some of that stuff talked about in more depth. And they have their job positions that are open, so if you're in New York or some of these other places, even remote, you have a pretty good chance of getting into working with Tezos. And their updates area is probably the most interesting part. You can see there's tons of updates going on all through April, from protocol to development, their ecosystem, everything like that. So they're constantly developing and being worked on. So a quick little look at what their developer portal looks like. You can see that they kind of go through all the basics, how Tezos works, how to write a smart contract using the library, exploring the blockchain, all this kind of stuff. So as a developer, this is a great tool and a lot of useful information to help get into dev, especially if you know the basis of Pi or anything like that, or Python, or any of these things they're talking about. You'll be able to at least know the basics and follow all of this to learn how to get into Tezos. And then they have their developer documentation, which you can see is very transparent and open, and they talk about everything from start to finish on what Tezos does, exactly how it works, from A to B to Z. So this is a great tool if you want to get more into Tezos and see exactly what's going on and how everything works. This is constantly being updated on the daily basis. We're in version 9.1. So if I was to make this video tomorrow, there might be a couple changes, which is pretty awesome. So the first chart we're going to be looking at is the XTZ USD chart through Binance. Starting on the daily, you can see we are in overbought area on the STO RSI, but based on the actual RSI, we can potentially hold support on the 50. If not, we might dip a little lower. We can see there's a couple support holds around the 35 to 40 RSI, but we're hoping to get a 50 support hold. That'd be great for a push up. So right off the bat, I can see a couple of major points for support and resistance flips. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, and you can see, ironically enough, so you have a push, hit a major resistance on both of these lines, couldn't hold support, broke back down, hit a resistance, back down, resistance, back down, was able to break that resistance and did a massive shot up. Made all-time highs, finally hit a resistance all the way up here, which we can add as well around this area. Price hit that resistance, came shooting down, couldn't find support hold anywhere, came all the way down to the 100 EMA, which is also our last stand major support hold on SR flips. Was able to get that hold, and price began to push back up, got a hold on the next SR flip, and is looking to make its way on top into the next SR flip area. So it's going to be interesting that I can see from here as well is if you do a bottom trend line. So even from here, fill in this whole area. We're about to get in a major confluence point to a major SR potential flip once price wants to break through. So based on this support and resistance flip line and this bottom trend line, you can see we have an ascending triangle. So if price does want to make a move, it can happen within this area. It might continue to go down, or if not, it's going to ride this trend and hopefully push up. The top of this trend line, the way that we can do it, that should be doing this, is Control C, Control V, making sure that line's parallel. And you can see that matches almost flawlessly. So we're hoping for price to hold and come back up and test the top of this trend line and break out for an impulse move. Hopefully to test the all-time high, hold support on this line up here, and that's going to be the major point for our next breakout. Now if I take these out, and we'll use good old fib, you can see that price never really broke under the 78. It was a massive move. It still technically hold. It almost hit the 100, but it came back immediately. That would have been an amazing buy point. Price is starting to make its way up to the 6180 to look for support before making its way up to the 0 and fulfilling its retracement completely. Based on what this move did previously, the next impulse can take us anywhere from almost $9 to almost $12. Anywhere in this magic range. Take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. So long term, Tezos is looking like a great call. Now I wanted to show you this chart because this is a very interesting one. You can see from Tezos to Bitcoin, based on a long-term chart, we are pretty low and we were riding bearish for a long time. Finally found a nice little floor over here. Here's our floor. We found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 support holds. Finally made a push, getting the EMAs to cross, hitting a major resistance twice as a double top at the 200 EMA. Forced price back down. Now we're getting the spring load here, which is looking to break price back up. I'm going to move this to another chart because the 1 days are always oversold, but the 3 days and the weekly and everything like this for Tezos are ready to go and are ready to blossom. I'll show you. We'll go back to the other chart after, but you can see these major spikes up here compared to where price is currently at. I'm thinking this is going to make a huge push before the bull cycle ends. You can see right now price is sitting around 0.0001, And I'm looking for price to get all the way up to this 0.0003 area. I got lucky and ended up buying it down here at the 0.00009 area during this little retracement. So all in all, my short term, depending on how long this takes in general, I'm looking for this to make a nice little push back up before I take a nice little profit on this. A little chunky move, it's around 270%. Going back to this chart, you can see what I was talking about, where this is just getting out of the oversold area, pushing back up. On the 3-day chart, go to the weekly chart, we can still see that we're pushing down. Once it starts curving, we're going to start getting into the bullish area. But all in all, Tezos is ready to make a little pop. And as you can see from my charts here, everything is red. So what I'm going to start adding in all the videos at the end to keep everyone up to date with the current as well is do a little overview of the current total market cap. I like to do the altcoin market cap. We can do both, but realistically they're going to be pretty similar. One just includes Bitcoin, which is the regular total, and total 2 does not include Bitcoin, so it's everything excluding Bitcoin. And you can see from a weekly total market cap, we're still pretty low in the RSI, which is why I've been preaching that we are not even anywhere near what's going to happen with an impulse move. And I think the one that we're going to be seeing coming up in the next month is going to be the biggest impulse move that we've seen so far in this bull cycle. In the Discord group, I talk a lot about where I think the next 2 retracements are going to be, where I think the bull cycle is going to be ending, all that kind of stuff. So if that's what you're interested in, make sure to join the Discord group. If we want to zoom this out even more, we had a massive push. This is this last little retracement that we've been dealing with. If I wanted to take a fib retracement, bottom to top it, we didn't even get close. Well, technically I like to do the SR, practice what you preach. And you can see when I put on the major SR flip as the point for the fib retracement, price is bouncing perfectly around, peaks out, comes right down to 6180, which is the 200 EMA. Price shoots right back up, and right now we're sitting around the take profit 1 area, which I don't think that's going to be the end. I think this is going to continue to push up. Let's see, based on the last push and what we just experienced. Yeah, so we hit the take profit 3 with this last little push before the major retracement. So keeping that in mind, we can make another push to the take profit 3, which is going to be a 1.45 trillion. That is probably what I'm going to be taking out any of my short-term trades and things like that. Again, not financial advice, just kind of saying what I would be doing. But overall, I'm looking very bullish on this market cap, and I think this next little push right here is going to be a monster. We could go even higher than this 1.45. And let's say price does go to the 1.45. We could start move from here, take it to the 1.45. So our 6180 is going to be right at 1 trillion. So we really shouldn't be going under 1 trillion anytime. If we do, we might get down to 960, but I don't think so. Especially when we're talking about the total market cap. I think 1 trillion is going to be the floor for a little bit. And from here, once we retrace, and if this pattern was to continue to fulfill itself, the next push can potentially take us to the $2 trillion range for altcoin market cap, which would be kind of something I've been talking about in our group, where I said that Bitcoin was probably going to be around 1 point something trillion, and the altcoin market cap is going to push to try to double and get around the 2 trillion point. And by the end of the cycle, we should be looking at around a $4 trillion market cap before we top out and drop into our bear cycle. And that about wraps up this video. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you guys found anything helpful, please throw a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.